Yeah.
Amazing. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Wednesday evening opportunity call, where we're going to be telling you lots about our amazing Juice Plus products and our amazing business opportunity. And we're going to get started with James, who's going to be telling you all about our amazing products this evening.
Right. Okay, everyone. So here we are. It's my enormous pleasure to talk about Juice Plus for the first 5 minutes. And believe it or not, I remember in 1993, I was in San Diego in California at a Juice Plus convention, believe it or not, probably many, many years before a lot of people were born on this Zoom. And they introduced to us 2 products on that day. They introduced to us to something called the Knowledge Network, believe it or not, which was going to be a new Juice Plus product range, and then something very unusual, which we'd never heard of before, called Juice Plus. And needless to say, Juice Plus has become a phenomenon, and the Knowledge Network was edged out the way and actually never really got going, because Juice Plus was head and shoulders the best product for us to run with. And it was developed and formulated effectively by a naturopath called Smokey Santillo, and his father was very, very ill, and he desperately was trying to find a way of helping his father to recover. And he decided that he would start effectively pulping fruits and vegetables, drying them and turning them into a powder and putting them on a spoon in his father's mouth and on his tongue. And within a relatively short period of time, his father completely recovered. So that was extraordinary, and that really was the birth of Juice Plus. But then, was it just going to be a paste? Well, it was difficult for it to be a paste and for it to become a worldwide product. And so someone with a very clever idea decided to see if it could be turned into a capsule. And no one said it could be done. And a company in California called Natural Alternatives said, we think we can do it. And sure enough, they did. And that was the birth of Juice Plus. So that's what we were first introduced to in San Diego, California. And so what is Juice Plus? So as we see here, Juice Plus is close to nature. It's the best of whole food, minimally processed, plant-derived nutrition, 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries in a capsule. And it's now got the approval of informed choice, and there are now 30 independent studies into the product. So it really is a worldwide phenomenon. But I am personally so proud to be marketing Juice Plus, because if you look at the history behind it, it is a phenomenon. This is a phenomenon. This is a product from heaven, I consider. Anyway, so let's move on. And so it's all developed even more now. And one of the genius approaches that was taken with the product, probably about 10 years down the line, was the Healthy Starts program. And this is where children can come onto the Juice Plus program, and they get their Juice Plus for free. But in the process of developing the whole Juice Plus philosophy, we started developing the Juice Plus gummies for children. So this is an alternative version of Juice Plus, but it's in gummy format. Really, really delicious, and the kids absolutely love it. So if the parents take the Juice Plus capsules, the children get it for free. And do you know, I was talking to a parent a little bit ago, again, it was in the States, and I was just talking to this woman, and she was mentioning about her child and with the gummies. And she said it just had made so much difference to her son. He was concentrating much better at school. He was well behaved, believe it or not. And he was settling down to eat a much more healthy diet. And to be frank with you, I was as amazed as she was in telling me this, because I'd always felt that the capsules were the real deal, and maybe the gummies were a much lower grade version, but they're not. The gummies are full of nutrition and are very, very, very effective for kids. So we're incredibly proud of that. And hopefully you can see some of the key things about the benefits that there are for kids with the gummies. So we won't go any more into that. So if I go on to now, what I'm going to show now is another product range that we have, which is all to do with the Juice Plus philosophy, and it's called Complete. So this is the same Juice Plus philosophy of fruits and vegetables and berries delivered in a easy to consume way. And what we say with Juice Plus is we're bridging the gap between what people should be eating and what people are eating every day. And again, Juice Plus Complete is building that bridge again between what we are eating and what we should be eating every day. So we've got shakes, we've got bars, and we've got soups. But the shakes really are incredible. Now, the reason why it's called Complete is because it's giving everyone a complete, balanced intake of food. It's effectively a meal. So if you look at the Complete, it comes in chocolate. It also comes in vanilla. And it's high quality plant protein, absolutely delicious. This is really the thing that has caused our company to absolutely take off in the last 10 years, because it's something which is so much at the forefront of people's minds. Being able to have a shake for breakfast, for lunch, fantastic for weight loss, but also, very, very good as a balanced intake of nutrients for the day, whether it be lunch, breakfast, or whenever we want. So we absolutely love the Complete. And again, very, very proud to be representing this because of the science that is behind it. Now, if we look then at the Perform, this is another development in the whole philosophy of the shakes. And this is full of protein. So this has got a high level of protein, 25 grams. And this is designed for people who are taking exercise every day, in whatever form that may be. It could be at the gym. It could be just going for a walk with a dog. It could be going, for a walk in the park with the kids. Whatever we're doing to take exercise, we need to be building, and we need to be taking in protein, because we need to be building our muscles. As you get older, obviously, it's very easy to see people slightly, getting thinner in terms of muscle mass. And it's so important that we have good muscle mass. This is absolutely critical for us throughout our lives. So Perform is a beautiful way of getting us there, and it is absolutely delicious. So there are going to be more products to come. There's going to be a special shake to do with gut health, and there are a whole lot of different Juice Plus format type of products to help people to consume more fruit and vegetables every day that are coming down the line. But in the meantime, what we have is an absolutely cutting edge product, which is a world beater. There is nothing else like this out there in the world. So with that, I'm going to hand back to Sara.
Thank you so much, James. I love hearing you talk about the products, because I always say I'm the crazy Juice Plus lady, but I think you're the crazy Juice Plus man.
Well,
I know. I just love your passion for them. I really, really do.
Sometimes, because when I'm talking to people, I think I might sound like a nutcase. Anyway.
No, honestly, it's really lovely to also hear about the history of the company and how the products were made. And I think that just sort of solidifies your belief in the products when they've been around for so long as well. So thank you so much, James. And we're going to hear from someone who's already using the products and see what she is finding of them so far. Do we have Becky on the call, please?
I'll just unmute myself. That might help. Good evening, everybody. So I have been using the products since May. Before I started using the products, I wasn't sleeping very well. My diet was awful. I didn't really exercise. I just felt lethargic all the time, had slight anxiety. So I was introduced to it in May. I started on the shakes and the boosters to start off with. And then incorporated the uplift and the protein shake, the Perform, and I am just shy of 2 stone loss. I'm sleeping better, my energy levels are so much higher. I'm going to spin classes at least 3 times a week if I can get to it, if the children allow. But at least twice a week I'm spinning, which I have never ever dreamt that I would ever do that. Wouldn't even get me in a gym, let alone on a spin bike. I'm, like I said, I'm sleeping better. I'm able to get up in the mornings. It's just completely changed the way I feel. It's completely changed my mindset about how I want to live, about how I want my children to be. It's just amazing, and it's the best thing that I've ever been introduced to, and I recommend it to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Becky. Sorry,
Thank you.
See me shouting at the kids in the background. Go back to bed. Sorry, Becky. Yeah, that was absolutely amazing, and I love that you have already lost 2 stone on the products. But I always say the most important thing is the energy levels, isn't it? The weight loss is obviously amazing, but especially if you're a busy mum, having lots of energy is not to be undervalued.
Yeah, definitely. It is. I mean, I can't. The other day I was out with the dog at 6:30. I would never ever have been doing that.
Amazing.
So for me, that's a big achievement, and getting on a spin bike.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Becky.
Thank you.
Take it. Right, thank you. So guys, we're going to move over to the business side of things, and we're going to start with Howard, who's going to tell you a little bit more about that.
Hey, Sara, warm welcome to everybody on the call tonight, especially those who are looking at this perhaps for the very first time. For my pennyworth, I came across this a long time ago, again when it was launched, but the timing wasn't right for me. A friend reacquainted me with the Juice Plus opportunity and products at the end of 2013. And I was training for a big cycling event in the Alps. In fact, 2 of the climbs I was going to have to do were actually in the Tour de France this very day. I was going a little bit slower than them, I hasten to add, but nonetheless, I knew that the Juice Plus products were going to underpin the training that I was going to have to do. But I was also at a time in my life when my business, I had a traditional company at that point, that was starting to struggle. And I knew that there was an opportunity here, and I felt that the timing was perhaps a little bit better. Now, that was 8 years ago. Let's sort of move forward to where we are today. And as this slide tells us, there are more than 7,000 people joining the Juice Plus company each and every month. Now, let's have a think as to why that may be. Now, as I intimated a second ago, there was already a pretty high awareness of personal health, and COVID has set if you like, interest in health and well-being. It's just grown exponentially. And add to that all the economic turmoil that is starting to happen. And I use that word. I think we've got many more challenges to come. People are more open than ever before to look at a way of bringing extra money into their household. Why? Because they've got to. It's a question of survival. It really is that simple, people. It really is. And therefore, people are more open than ever before. And the timing is just right for us. That is why so many people are coming on board. Now let's have a look. Let's move on to the next slide. So if you're getting involved, how can you expect to make some money? Well, I'm here to tell you there's not 1, 2, 3, but there are 4 ways of making money with this opportunity. I've only got time to tell you about one. So do get in touch with the person who brought you onto this call, who introduced you to this, and ask them to explain about the other 3. Now, if you join, thank you for just moving that up. Everybody joins on the left-hand side of that staircase as a partner. Now, with help, with training, and with encouragement, you can hop, you can walk, you can run, you can speak. Some people even manage to fly from left to right, all the way up to the right-hand side to that position of PMD+. Now, if you do that, you along the way will pick up a cool set of bonuses amounting to nearly £120,000. Now, if you add those other 3 things, those other 3 ways of making money, that level of income is going to compare very well with top executive positions in the corporate world and with business leaders in the private sector. The great thing is, you're not going to have a boss looking over your shoulder. You're not going to have somebody who's potentially going to steal your job. In fact, as crazy as it may sound, you actually want to have people be working with people who are better than you. That does seem crazy. It'll take a while to get your head around that, but trust me, that is 100% the case. Okay, so the actual, in terms of the upside, is enormous. What is the risk? I'm here to tell you, it's £50. I'll repeat that: £50 to get involved. The risk to reward is just so ridiculous. The actual level of risk is so low as to be almost nothing at all relative to the upside. So let's move on again. And so how quickly can you actually earn money? The answer is straight away. And I didn't realize this at the time, but you actually get paid for your own usage. Now, how cool is that? Now, we kind of moved off track to a different slide there, but you actually get paid for your own usage. Now, there's a very good chance that when you start a health journey, that there are going to be friends, there are going to be family, maybe work colleagues who are intrigued by this and maybe want to, for their own reasons, want to join you. So it's not uncommon for people to actually be able to find people who want to join them and actually make that first step up that staircase that we saw a second ago. Okay. And if you do that, you'll pick up the first of those bonuses, which is £80. And with the commissions and other bits and pieces, you will probably around about double that. So call it about £150 in your first month. So the return on your investment of 50, you're way ahead of the game already, right from the get-go. That is possible. Now, the trade-off is it doesn't come for free. It does require work. Some people are under the misapprehension that it's a £50 opportunity and it just happens automatically. No, the people who actually have reached the top of that staircase, they have worked their whatnots off to get there. So it does require that level of effort and commitment. Okay, so I don't know if we've got another slide, James. I'm looking at you at the moment, and as great as that is.
Hang on. I do apologise.
That's all right. Now, that's kind of where we are at the moment. Let's have a look at where we're going. Now, this is a map of the Juice Plus world as it stands at the moment. And the countries in orange are where we are now, around about 30 in total. And not surprisingly, being an American company, North America's taken care of. We went into Mexico just before COVID happened. Europe, that's pretty well covered as well. In fact, earlier this year, we went into Portugal in January and more recently the Czech Republic. There are a few gaps in Eastern Europe, but not that many. And in Asia, we're in the UAE, and that was designed to be a springboard and so forth into the other markets. And so far, we've landed in Malaysia and Singapore, and down the right-hand corner, you've got Australia and New Zealand. But you're saying, well, what about those gray outlines there? There are continents that are untouched. Yeah, that's right. But the plans are already in place to go there. And you're right, there are continents that haven't even heard about this opportunity yet. South America, Africa, and to all intents and purposes, Asia. You've got 9 out of the top 15 most populated countries on Earth are in Asia alone. Between 3.5 and 4 billion people there. Now, do you think there is a chance that some of those people maybe have 1 or 2 health concerns, the likes of which you and I have? And maybe, just maybe, those same people could have 1 or 2 financial concerns and therefore be looking at alternative or be willing to looking at alternative ways of bringing a secondary income into their household because they have to, just like you and me. I think you know the answer to that. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is a very simple one. What level do you want to play at? How badly and how big a part do you want to play? We know that with the power of modern communications, I don't know how many countries are actually represented on this call alone, but it's never been easier with the power of one of these, the laptop that I'm talking on, to make connections globally. It's a very small place when it comes to this kind of business, and we have it at our fingertips. So I'll just say it one more time. How big a part would you like to play? I'll leave you with that thought. Thanks very much.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Howard. I absolutely love hearing your business presentation and just seeing about the world global domination that's going to take place for the Juice Plus company. It's really exciting to hear about all the countries that we're going to be moving into in the coming months and years as well. So we are going to move on. We have got a very, very special guest speaker this evening. I personally am very excited to have her on the call because I feel like she's taking the company by storm. She's on all the leaderboards. She's just qualified for our Centre Parks incentive as well. I think she's just celebrated her biggest pay ever with Juice Plus. Not that I'm stalking you, which is what it sounds like, but let's welcome Jane Mably to the call. Just need to unmute yourself, Jane.
Good evening, guys.
Hi. Yeah, absolutely fine. Welcome, Jane. Thanks so much for coming on tonight.
No, thank you for having me on. Yeah, no, it has been a whirlwind couple of months. So I've been in the business sort of 4.5 years now. So I actually started on the products first. So I've always been a really busy working mum. So at the time when I started the products, I was actually a stay-at-home mum at the time, which was absolutely incredible. My husband worked, but like most families, husband worked absolutely every hour of the day, just to cover the bills, never any spare money at the end of the month, which is how most people live nowadays. And it was incredible that I was at home. But before having the kids, I used to manage massive spas in hotels. So I was seeing people every day. I was seeing customers, clients, working with therapists, working with management team. So a really, really social person. To then be at home with 3 little ones. So we had our first little boy with the full intentions of going back to work, like lots of mums do. And then the reality hits when grandparents or, nursery fees come up and you go, actually, it's just not feasible. So I stayed at home, which was incredible. And I've absolutely loved that. But I really, really missed seeing people. I was at home with 3 little ones. We had 3 under 3. And I was literally just a bit like, oh, totally lost who I was, as I think lots of mums, dads, parents do. So I was sort of stuck at home with little ones. And I fell in love with the product. So I've always obviously been into nutrition, been into holistic side of it. And I researched the products, looked at them. And I was that person that went, oh, I don't know, I'm a little bit skeptical. But I did. I researched the products, absolutely fell in love with them, started on the products. So I originally started on the shakes because I was skipping meals. I've always skipped meals throughout all of my adult life, rushing out the door to work. I've always eaten well, but always skipped meals. I think a lot of us do. We just run out the door and, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So I just wasn't fueling my body correctly. So I started the shakes and automatically just felt absolutely amazing. So I actually lost 3.5 stone in 4 months. I started in the September. By the Christmas, I was where I wanted to be. Couldn't believe it. I was that person that, yo-yo dieted, went to every group there was, tried every diet. And these products just work. It is scientifically proven nutrition. It's just absolutely incredible. So my husband started on the product. So when we came to reorder in the January, I was like, I'm just going to join the business. It makes perfect sense. I'm in love with the product. And this business is just about sharing. It's not about selling. Selling doesn't sell. It's just about sharing your journey. And that's as simple as it is. So many people think, oh, I don't want to join this business and have to, spam it on my socials or have to this. This isn't what it's about. It's no different than recommending a restaurant down the road or recommending a book to anybody. This is as simple as this business is. So I just went, oh, do you know what? Sign me up. It's £50. What do we all waste £50 on? It could be a takeaway. It could be, a Primark haul, like 50 quid, it goes nowhere. And £50 to invest in your business. Like Sarah said, last week on our payday, we get paid on the 10th of every month. And I have done now for the last 4.5 years. And I got paid my Q&MD bonus, which was £3,600 on top of my commissions, which is just absolutely insane. I've never seen that much money hit my bank account. Like, I never have. Even when I was working, never saw it hit my bank account. My husband, even when he was working, he used to be at the door at 5 o'clock in the morning and he used to be home about 10 o'clock at night. And he never even saw that much money hit his bank account. So it's just absolutely incredible. So I just ran with the business and it has been insane. And even in lockdown, my business tripled because we all need better health. We all need more wealth. We all need a plan B. I think that is something that we have found that lockdown, it's the gift that lockdown has given, that we all need to have that plan B. Even at the minute, I'm not saying, so obviously like now, I haven't had to go back to work. I do this full time. And actually, in the September after lockdown, when my littlest one started school, my plan was to go back to work. I was like, right, the kids are in school, I can go back to work. I've not had to go back to work, and everyone thought we were crazy because my husband was put on furlough and he went, I don't want to go back to work. And I went, do you know what? You don't have to. Like, we can do this. So he's actually gone self-employed. So we both have that time freedom. And that is 100% like the most incredible thing about this business. We both have that time freedom now. So like in May, I qualified for Mallorca, so an all incentive paid for by the business, a trip to Mallorca. Like, Normal people don't get that. You don't get that in a normal job. But I did, and it was no trouble. I said to Dave, I'm going to Mallorca. He didn't have to ask his boss for time off. We've just had 10 days in France, like with the family, as a family. He's been able to work from there. I've been able to work from there. It's been around the kids. It's just been absolutely incredible. And that's all it is. It's just sharing your journey, you know, just showing people a healthy lifestyle, showing people that there is a better way. And there really, really is. And something that I will always say in this business, it's like, we see lots of people in this business do make mega money. And I was that person that right at the start went, I'll never be that person at the top. Like that's not normal. That doesn't happen. It really, really does. And something which really resonates with me is the fact that this business has enabled me to become that yes mum. Because a couple of years ago, I was that mum down the beach in the summer. I live in Cornwall. The prices of ice creams are ridiculous. Free ice creams on the beach, it's about 15 quid, no joke. And a couple of years ago, I was that mum that when the kids would say to me, can we have an ice cream? I would go, we've got ice creams in the freezer at home. Because I knew a box from Tesco's would last us the week. It was a couple of quid, and I was that mum. And last summer, the kids said to me, can I have an ice cream? Down the beach, I didn't even have to think, what have we got in the bank account? Have we got enough for an ice cream? Because that is how we were living. We were penny pinching from week to week, month to month, never getting anywhere, no savings, in debt, you know, living out of an overdraft. And last year, that was my moment where it was like, do you know what? I have made it. Like, I can afford to buy the kids an ice cream. That is the yes mum moment for me. Like, even last month, my bonus being absolutely incredible. But that bonus, compared to being able to say to those kids, yes, you can have an ice cream, that is like, I'm a millionaire, I have made it. So it's just incredible. And it's just normal people. Well, I'm not that normal, but normal people doing incredible things. But yeah, just do it. Just go for it.
Oh, Jane, that's just the most amazing story, and so relatable as well, I think, to so many different people, obviously, especially to mums. But you just touched upon all of my favourite things about this business. And I think it's going from, you know, not having that social life, from having it pre-parenthood to then not having the social life, which is a big part of our business, is having a social life again. You know, improving your health, like 3.5 stone in 4 months is insane. So congratulations with that. And then I love that you said, actually, I want to join the business, you know, obviously loving the products. And I know without asking that people would have been saying to you, Jane, what are you doing? You look amazing. So you knew already it makes perfect sense to join the business.
The amount of people I'd already recommended without even realising I was doing it. Because people go, oh, you're looking amazing. What are you doing? I'd go, message Lucy. This is what I'm doing. Yeah. Message Lucy. And I'd already been doing it. And we do it all the time. You know, people will say to us, oh, you look amazing. It's no different than going, oh, I love your cardigan. Where's it from? It's absolutely no different at all. And if you are that person that's like, oh, what's everyone going to think? Do you know what? People's opinions don't pay your bills. This business does, 100%.
Absolutely love that, Jane. You've been incredible, and just a huge congratulations on, you know, smashing your health goals, on celebrating your QNMD bonus, and your husband being able to go self-employed as well. It's just an absolute dream from the business. So huge congratulations, and thank you so much for sharing that with us this evening.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks everybody for joining us this evening. We hope that you have loved it as much as what we do. And if you've got any questions at all, just go back to whoever it is that invited you on the call, and they will be more than happy to help. Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Becky.